Hello and welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow Season 10. It's been 10 seasons of empowering small businesses such as yourself in hand-holding and guiding you in your growth journey. I'm Sunanda Jayaseelan. On the show tonight, we're bringing you our limited edition Celebrity Series, where we're talking to celebrities who've taken the plunge and turned entrepreneur, talking to them about their highs, their lows, their learnings, and the takeaways really for businesses such as yourselves. My first interview tonight is with someone who needs no introduction. In fact, is one of the most fun interviews I've ever done in my career. It's with Cyrus Boracha as well as the co-founders of IVM podcasts. Also in the Celebrity Edition focus tonight, I'm in conversation with Zaheer Khan and the founders of StepSetGo. My first interview today, I'm talking about the business of entertainment, the entertainment business. I'm talking about podcasts and how really that market has been growing. Should entrepreneurs and small businesses be looking at that as a medium by which to brand themselves and advertise and market themselves? And if they are, what perhaps should they keep in mind? And all those takeaways really about branding and marketing oneself effectively.
Shall we start?
Rolling.
All right, fabulous show. We should put on the headphones.
Yeah.
That's always right.
I was just looking around and
Tell uncle, no?
should
Tell uncle, please put on your headphones. You have to correct me.
Thank you so much to the three of you for joining us here on this very limited edition series that we're doing, talking about all things that perhaps are changing career trends, the entertainment business, the business of entertainment and all of that and in between.
Could I just say that I'm really happy to be here on a big channel like this.
So good having you, Cyrus. I grew up watching you on MTV.
My God,
and
call
so
me uncle immediately. That's kind of rude, no? Call us
this
here
interview
immediately.
is off to a great start.
I know.
And on that note, I want to discuss what IVM podcast is. And just for the sake of our viewers who might be curious to understand where you started, you're about 7 years now, seven odd years old. Yeah, you started in 2015. Maybe let me come to you first, Amit.
Sure.
Tell us what it's about.
So the fundamental idea when we started, right, was that India did not have talk radio, and talk radio is a popular form of content pretty much everywhere else in the world. And the thought was that we could replicate. The reason we don't have talk radio is primarily to do with how government licenses are issued in this space. And so we thought that to try and replicate a talk radio station over the internet would be a interesting challenge. And so that's the kind of genesis of the whole thing. And I was initially thinking of it in a very different kind of way, but then I met this guy, and after I met this guy, I turned it to a different
If I could just turn that around a little bit, don't forget that he's Desi, he's basically an Indian American Indian, not a Native American Indian. Let's not confuse people, don't Google. So what happens is that culturally he's real hodgepodge and mix, which is good. So for them, podcasts had already come in a big way, etc. So he came back and he couldn't believe there's no podcast and no parking in South Mumbai. So he was just going berserk. And so then he realized, what the hell? The world is changing. And he was talking to somebody else about this venture, I think, I don't even remember. And he just came up to me and said, hello, my name is Amit. And he looked like a very famous politician. And I was a little, okay, great to know. And then he immediately started talking about this podcast, and I pretended to understand. I had no idea, no clue.
And that is my second question, and perhaps you can sort of, fill our viewers in and on this, Kavita, that India is a market where I understand people prefer video format over the audio format. So in a market like this, when, and we've been speaking to a lot of people who are doing the podcasting business, there is not much money to be made. So for an entrepreneur who's watching this to say, should I perhaps have my brand out on just an audio format? What would you want to tell them?
I think when we started, we wanted
But the
to
competition, so just say yes.
Hey, listen, we're doing enough video now.
Get it, your great idea. Audio, just stay with that. No cameras needed. In fact, stay away from the volume also. Yeah.
No, actually, we chose the audio, space, before we kind of went video because, IVM right now is predominantly a content house. But when we started, we wanted to kind of put out, like he said, long form, talk content. And to be able to start and to kind of do this with no money in our pockets, it was easier for us to do the audio thing and to kind of also legitimize that talk radio is, or like the listening of this kind of medium is a little frill-free. It needed to be kind of, because behaviors are different, right? Video requires you to be seated in front of a TV or some kind of screen, but this allowed for more in-depth conversations that you could probably be listening to, and the flexibility and a medium that you kind of, consumed on the go.
So then my question to you is, you of course, you have a very popular podcast on IVM Podcast.
1,000 episodes just last week.
Congratulations. The longest running podcast?
Yeah.
Please understand, this is Amit's idea, and the guts to stay in a race. Like you said, there's no money in it. There's no idea. You're talking about entrepreneurship. When you don't have an idea about where the market will go or what will happen, or you're predicting, but you have no idea, literally. I think that's real entrepreneurship. Everywhere else there are precedents and you follow them, right? You know, steel will do this well. You can study the market, the geography, the companies, the countries. So he took a real big risk. And the only reason I believe in him is because he's born in Walkeshwar. And let me tell you, I don't want to go back to what the governor said, but I have faith in certain people born in Walkeshwar and what they can accomplish. And that credit has to go to him before anybody else, because he said, okay, I'm putting my money where my mouth is and I'm staying the course of the race, and that's why we're still here. I'm just the artist who comes and does this thing and, complains about everything, and they give me old coffee or tea or something, as you can see, and that's it.
No, so what I'm trying to understand, Cyrus, is you're talking to a very specific audience.
But
how do you identify them? Yes, exactly. So how do you identify them?
We wanted to create a casual conversation amongst the lads, if you like, and that includes ladettes also. It's not a gender thing, where you just sort of, at the bar or in the college or whatever your age is, at the office water fountain or here sitting around, where people just chat and the conversation just leads organically. So we have a so-called anchor who's a titular head. It doesn't really exist. And then we have 4 or 5 ideas we have, and we try to stick to them, but it just goes its own way. So as long as people are talking like we are now, it just has its own life, and hopefully people listen to it, and that's it. And the kind of feedback we get, people are on the same mindset as us. I don't think it's specifically an age-related market or anything, or a type of liberal versus. We are both very clear. I can't speak for Kavita because she seems very left of center, but we are both very clear that we try to just open the platform and have a conversation, and allow all sides of perspectives to come out.
But IVM is an infotainment brand, right? Like, we've always wanted to make learning fun. So whether it's through his show, I mean, of course, maybe not because of him, but all the other panelists that he has, are fairly intelligent and have kind of like varied opinions, right?
Actually,
so Amit is a really popular co-host of his on his show. But yeah, actually, it's mostly an hour that you probably can come away having, understood or learned something.
Let me just take a step back and talk about then radio as a medium. We are on the 10th edition of the Leaders of Tomorrow, 10 seasons of the show, India's longest running show. And one of the things we talk about is calling out future trends. So for someone who's watching this interview to say, great, fine, podcasts are perhaps, podcasts are here to stay, podcast is the thing of the future. What other trends, when it comes to a brand that's perhaps saying, I could use this medium to talk about the work that I'm doing very subtly and very effectively, what trends could you perhaps call out? Maybe
I'll take that. No.
Okay, so I'll take the serious answer from him then and the business answer from him, but yeah.
So the way I would look at this, right, is that brands who are engaging with podcasts primarily, right, they're looking for engagement from the people who are part of this, right? So like we have a bit of research that we're releasing sometime in the next couple of days / maybe a week or so. But what it does tell us very, very clearly, right, is that this is probably one of the best mediums for getting some action taken post engaging with the brand. And that is something that we see absolutely there, right? Like 60% of people who they engage with the brand in some way, shape or form, go to the website, follow on social media, check out the social media page, respond to a tweet, buy something, whatever that may be. That is a really, really high number, right? And so I think that when brands are looking at the space, the things to look at are engagement, the things to look at are like, the passionate listener. We started a Discord channel for Cyrus's show. 3 days later, 600 people, right, on that Discord, right? And all of them, they're like playing music all day long on that thing. They're like sending memes to us.
It may be a lack of respect also, but it's still working.
Yeah, but no, but I mean, like, this is the engagement you get out of this, right? Because it's a very realistic kind of feeling that I am hanging out with Cyrus every day in the morning. Cyrus is my buddy, and there are other buddies who are also hanging out with Cyrus in the morning, and we're all getting together and kind of doing this. So I think that for a lot of brands who are looking to engage with community in some sense, this is really good.
Okay. What are the biggest opportunities and challenges of an audio-only platform or medium?
That's a tough question.
No,
but
I think we're such a video world today, right? It's so easy for you to flip your phone out, take a video. You're all creators in some form or way. All of us can shoot films, we know. I mean, it's just that technology just allows us to do that. I don't think putting a podcast together is that easy, right? Like, I think it's just the editing. You need to kind of know a little bit about the medium to be able to kind of put a tight conversation together, unless you're a great conversationalist, right? Unless you're a great storyteller.
If I could add to that, right?
Yeah.
One of the things about audio consumption, right? It's a lot more deliberate. The intent is a lot higher than necessarily on video. Think about how you consume YouTube or Netflix or one of those things, right? You're actively engaged with the device you're consuming with. When you're watching on your phone, like nobody can tell me that they turn a YouTube video on and they're not scrolling for what's happening or what are the other videos available, right? That's just the way you work. When you're consuming audio content, you hit play, you put your phone in your pocket, and you go on, because audio is almost always consumed as a secondary activity. Workout, commute, chores. You're doing something else when you're listening to audio. 70% of people are audio consumers, right? They're not
Fair
video.
enough.
That's why I keep saying, think of the audio.
So when describing it, I mean, think of like radio commentary in cricket versus television.
Yeah.
One is it's a totally different medium. So then you and I grew up with radio commentary. I remember you telling me how you enjoyed Suresh Saraya both in Hindi and English and all that. So, but it would be the whole style is different. But cricket is just more conversational because you're watching. It's just saying that went to the fielder, one run. So for us, I get the same feeling sometimes if we're talking to the audio guy, we got to underline it while talking, which is a whole different feel. It's exaggerated and it's louder, it's like play acting slightly. So that's a challenge, but it's fun.
Thank you so much, guys. This has
Thank
been the
you.
most fun interview I've done in a while.
Wow. Thank you.
I'll take a quick break. When we come back, I'm in conversation with someone who also needs no introduction. Zaheer Khan, cricketing legend and icon, talking about the fitness market and how he's taken the plunge there, what he's doing to ensure that he's grabbing your eyeball and ensuring you're getting off that couch and getting fit. That conversation when we come back in just a moment. Welcome back with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow, and tonight we're bringing you our Celebrity Edition. Good having both of you here in our studios talking about something that's top of everyone's mind. I know it's top of my mind, and that's fitness. Not a lot of us manage to actually convert that into something, but that's the market both of you are chasing after. And good having you here. And maybe before we really talk about the market, how it's changing, and your advice for entrepreneurs who are perhaps interested in this space, my first question, and Zaheer, let me come to you on this one. Just talk to us about what the app is and the idea for the app. It's been in the market now for about 3 years?
Yes, three and a half, I think.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you for having us over. It's a pleasure to be out here on your show. The app and the connect is basically around fitness, and for me, obviously being a sports person, it was always of top priority to maintain myself and do something in fitness. So I actually started I started my fitness journey with Pro Sport, and then Pro Sport was with the vision of basically filling the gap of expert advice around fitness, not only for sports people but also for amateur athletes, and fulfilling their needs, not only with regard to fitness but also with the injury management. So that is the injury to coming back to full fitness and then getting back to what you really want to do. Sure. Is a very important aspect of any sports person's life. So we were using those kind of methods to be accessible by wider audience. When we launched our app, I remember it was the response was such that it kind of took us in a spin, which was
Something
a
you're
good
used to.
headache. Yeah, like it was the numbers were just growing
Yeah.
exponentially, and we were not able to keep up. And our team actually was we had to really move fast in terms of growing our team. So that has been our journey. It has been superb. But the whole idea is to get someone motivated to walk more, and get someone to do more each and every day. So the gamification aspect is that.
And you're talking about gamification, and I want to pick up on that and come to you perhaps on this one, Shivjeet. Your website opens with the fact that it says it's as easy as walking and as exciting as shopping. Why is it necessary perhaps to have that hook? What has been maybe your biggest challenge when you were exploring setting up in this market, and how are you overcoming that?
So yeah, so you kind of summed that up perfectly, because is it necessary to have that primary hook? And what we noticed in the market was the whole sweaty January model in play. What that is essentially is, on the 1st of Jan, I'll make a commitment saying I am going to go to the gym, I'm going to buy new clothes, I'm going to get a personal trainer, and I'm going to have a six-pack by May. All these goals are unrealistic, right? So with StepSetGo, we wanted to break that cycle a little bit. We also were looking at a much wider audience, right? And that wider audience, now you have the core fitness audience who are trying all these apps, who are going to the gym but failing, right, to some degree, and then starting it again. But it's a good cycle to be on because you're at least trying. You have a much wider audience that is not even taking the first step, but know for a fact that they need to inculcate some sort of fitness into their lifestyle. How do you get them to start doing anything? That is when the rewards hook came into play, right? And with the rewards hook, we got them to track the most basic form of fitness. Don't intimidate them, give them a very easy journey to start with. So track your steps, and we added gamification layers there. So the more you walk consistently, the more coins. So StepSetGo works on a model where you download the app, you start walking, you earn coins from every step you take.
You were saying information, and I want to pick up on that, Zaheer, and ask for both of you to call out the top challenges and the top opportunities when it comes to any entrepreneur who's looking at the fitness space. There's a glut of information. You go to Instagram, you have pretty much every influencer who's sort of giving you any sort of health information, working out information, etc. How are you breaking that clutter? The top maybe 3 opportunities and the top challenges, not just for you as a company and an app, but for anyone who's starting out in this space. What would you want to say?
Well, I think to keep things simple and the messaging very simple is very important. So I feel that we've able to achieve that. Like for us, it's just about getting rewarded for walking. So it gets as simple as that. And we want you to better yourself each day. So that is the simplicity of the app, and rest of it is just the add-ons which you experience as you go along in the app, on your journey of using the app. So I think that is something which is very challenging for any app to achieve. And I think with StepSetGo, we feel proud that we've been able to achieve that simplicity of the app, that you just walk, you will earn coins, and then it's up to you how to make use of that.
Okay.
But your fitness journey can start with a simple step.
Okay, so that's something that you've converted to an opportunity, that is simplicity. What are the biggest challenges that you've seen in this market starting out?
So inherently the fitness market has the problem of motivation, right? And you need to keep users motivated to make them continue their fitness journey. And continuously providing that motivation is something that you have to innovate on almost a weekly level, because I might lose interest in walking 2 weeks down the line, right? So I need to continuously give more things that motivate the user to keep on their fitness journey and to make sure that they understand that they're making progress. So how do we show that they are actually improving their quality of life by this thing? That is one of the biggest challenges the industry has. The second inherent problem with the fitness ecosystem is the fact that it requires a lot of manual input of what you are doing inside the application. And whenever we are looking at plans that you spoke about when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to workouts, we are trying to basically take away the barrier of users having to input that, and how much can we authenticate without them actually putting in the effort. Right now, for me, having breakfast and saying that I had one piece of bread, I had one egg, and I had this thing, for me that's too cumbersome a task, right? How do I make it as simple as possible where I have 2-3 clicks, and for me that's done. I have my record, now I can move on with life. That is a challenge that we are overcoming over this thing. So it's less manual inputs, more of as much information given to you as possible about how you're living your life and how to make it healthier.
So Zaheer, what does it mean for you to be, in the public eye as you are and have that public profile, and now to turn entrepreneur? Do you feel perhaps the focus, there's a lot of focus then on people like yourself, on celebrities like yourself?
I think yes and no. Yes, you do get the attention from everyone that okay, what is this app all about? Okay, is Zach involved with this? What is the whole thing? That is the advantage. But after that, you have to stand on your own. So the app has to stand on its own, right? So that is how it has been. But with me personally, my journey in this space has been long. It goes long way back, right? Like I started my restaurants, and then I had the fitness gyms which I was talking about, pro sport. So I've always had that inclination of doing something beyond cricket.
Okay, I'll give you the last word then. What do you want to tell our viewers? What advice do you want to leave them with?
You just got to believe in yourself, and you got to have a goal in front, and then just chase that goal with full heart and passion.
And then just go.
Yeah, I mean you got to keep believing in it. Then see, none of the journeys are going to be easy ones. Like there are going to be ups and downs. There are going to be challenges, but how you look at them matters. And if you're going to lose hope or you're going to just quit, then you will never see what a turn could have got you. Like it's like I used to use this line, like every bend could mean an end if you don't decide to take that turn. So I think it's entrepreneur's journey is like that. You got to have that belief, and every turn you can't just think that is the end of the road. You got to make sure that you go and see it through.
Fantastic, gentlemen. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Out of time on tonight's conversation. If you have any feedback for us, do let us know. Our contact details on your screens as we speak. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.